Hi guys, welcome back. Honda's Activa lineup is being toned down to just two versions with the new BS-6 update, and I think it's a good move because there is a 110cc variant which is named Activa 60, and then there is its bigger brother with the 125cc engine which is named Activa 125 BS-6. So from the two, which one should you buy? Well, this video is to help you in making that decision. Now before starting the comparison, let's check a very important thing first, and that's the pricing. Well, yeah, it's pretty obvious that the 125cc variant is the pricier one, while the 110cc variant is the more affordable one. So if in case your budget is matching with the 110cc variant, which is the Activa 60, well then the decision should be pretty easy for you. But if pricing is not a very important factor for you, then you need to dive in deep to find out which one from the two will suit you better. And for that, let's first take the design of both the scooters. Here the core design actually has resemblance, and as expected, the 125cc Activa is actually the bigger one in every aspect like the length, width, height, and even the curb weight. But the wheelbase is actually the same for both the scooters. From the front, even though there are similarities, the Activa 125 has a premium feel compared to the much simplified look of the Activa 60. And here the most attractive thing with the Activa 125 is the new position light, which is very sleek. Now about the headlight, things are pretty interesting because when we check the pricing, there is 3 models with the Activa 125, while for the Activa 60, there is only 2 versions. And here based on the variants, the headlight changes. With the Activa 60, with the Deluxe version, you get a LED headlight, and with the standard variant, the headlight is halogen. And with the Activa 125 BS-6, LED headlight is equipped with both the Deluxe as well as the alloy version, and halogen bulb is used only in the standard version. Now about the range and coverage, well the LED headlight of both the scooters are pretty good ones with really good range and coverage. And here I think both are almost on par with the way the light is spread out during night rides. Then checking the handlebar, both the scooters get the classic scooter type handlebar, but the switch controls and speedometer is a bit different again based on the variant you get. Firstly with the Activa 60, no matter which variant you buy, you get an analog speedometer, and for the switch controls, there is the dim, bright and pass light as a single switch along with the indicator toggle and horn on the left side, and on the right side, there is the engine start-stop switch. Now with the Activa 125 BS-6, the switch controls are similar to the one in the Activa 60 with the standard variant as well as with the alloy variant. But with the Deluxe version, even though the left side houses the same switch controls, on the right side, instead of an engine start-stop switch, you get the self-start switch as well as an idle start-stop switch. Now what this switch does is that when this is turned on and you take a brief halt in traffic or something else, the engine automatically turns off and it will automatically turn on when you twist the accelerator. This is a very handy feature because it does save fuel, and the best part is that it works well all the time without any hiccups. And about the instrument console for the Activa 125 BS-6, with the standard variant you get a fully analog meter, but with the Deluxe as well as with the alloy variant, you get a digital analog meter. This meter shows plenty of information like the time, distance to empty, real-time mileage, average mileage, etc. Then for the main body, well in both the scooters it is made of metal with slightly different finishes. In the Activa 125, you get a chrome strip with the Activa 125 branding, while for the Activa 60, it has a 3D chrome Activa branding. And for the pillion grab rail, in both the scooters, it's a single silver colored unit, and about its comfort, it's the same from both the grab bars. Then checking the rear portion, well this time Honda's trend is to use an external fuel lid, and here no matter which variant you buy with both the scooters, you get this very neat external fuel lid. The method of opening it is same with both the scooters where you choose the seat fuel option in the new lock system and then press the fuel option in the switch available. And instantly the external cap opens and you get access to the twist cap. Now here the outer plastic casing used feels of averagely good quality, and I feel it will last well with both the scooters, and also by the way the tank capacity is 5.3 liters in the Activa 60 as well as in the Activa 125 BS-6. And about the tail light, even though both are very simple and classic, from the two I did like the one in the Activa 125. And about the exhaust used, well both the scooters get the classic Activa exhaust, and for the wheel rim with the Activa 60 it's sheet metal in both the variants, but with the Activa 125, alloy wheel is available in the alloy and the Deluxe version, and sheet metal is used only in the standard variant. Now interestingly, the tire measurement is actually identical in both the scooters where the front tire is 90 mm thick and is 12 inches, while the rear tire, even though 90 mm thick, is just 10 inches, and both are tubeless tires. So based on design, well the one to pick, like I always say, varies based on individuals, but here if you need the best features, well the Activa 125 has a big upper hand in that, and about the build quality, both are really well built scooters and will age really well. But from all that we checked so far, the most important thing which will play a key role in buying decision is not yet touched, so let's move on to that, which is the ride quality and comfort. Here from the naming, we all know that the Activa 125 has an engine in that capacity range, and here its actual capacity is 124cc, and it is a fan-cooled 4-stroke PGM F5 BS-6 engine. And with the Activa 60, the engine capacity is 109.51cc, and it is also a fan-cooled 4-stroke PGM F5 BS-6 engine. Now both these engines have silent start, which is an impressive feature, and also by the way they both have enhanced smart power technology which does improve performance and also it does increase mileage. Well, here since the engine capacity of both the scooters have a good gap, the maximum power and torque generated by both these engines have a good difference in spec sheet. And here with Activa 125 while hitting the road, the experience is just awesome. If you want very good refinement and smoothness, well this engine has both. It's like the scooter flows elegantly with the twist of the accelerator, and I loved every bit of the ride. The engine's refinement is noticeable from the way it behaves, and here the performance of this engine is also not bad. For a speed from 0 to 70, the ride quality is exceptional, and actually till 80 the engine wasn't stressed and there was literally no vibrations. Now here the way the Activa 125 gains speed is not very abrupt, but instead it's in an even manner. And from my testing, I totally enjoyed the ride quality and also the performance of this new 125cc Activa. So now moving to the Activa 6G, well the obvious thing should be that the performance must drop, right? But surprisingly, I didn't notice it much. I mean the Activa 6G actually gains speed in the same way and almost at the same pace, and here because of that with the Activa 60, hitting the 60 mark is on par with the Activa 125. Now pushing above 60, it's not a big task for the 6G, and actually it does provide really good ride quality with no engine stress or vibration for a speed range from 0 to 70 km per hour. Now above that the engine shows a bit of stress, and that's where the higher engine capacity of the Activa 125 shows its upper hand. But overall based on refinement and comfort for city rides, the Activa 60 is actually on par with the Activa 125. But when it comes to safety, well that's where the top variant of the Activa 125 outshines the Activa 60. Both the variants of the Activa 60 has a 130mm drum brake on the front and rear with CBS equipped as standard in both the variants, and with the Activa 125, well even though for the standard and alloy variant the brakes used is the same as with the Activa 60, with the Deluxe version the front brake is 190mm disc, and because of that the braking is slightly better. To put it simple, what I felt is that the safe braking speed of the Activa 60 is below the 65 km per hour mark in both the variants, and for the Activa 125 with the Deluxe version, the safe braking speed can be pushed below the 70 km per hour mark. And now moving to the ride comfort, well first for the Activa 125 BS-6, the seating posture is perfectly upright with the handlebar moderately set, and here the seat is adequately long and wide, and that combined with good cushioning gives a good seating comfort for both the rider and the pillion. And here that combined with a large footboard, I feel even for tall riders, the Activa 125 will offer good seating comfort. Then for the suspensions, well in the front it's a telescopic suspension, and in the rear it's a 3-step adjustable suspension which are moderately soft set, and therefore even while riding through rough conditions the experience was stress free, and also for long rides like a 50 km ride in a stretch it can be done easily with the Activa 125. And now moving to the Activa 60, the seating posture is similar to the Activa 125, but the seat used here is a slightly smaller one in terms of length, but since the cushioning is perfect, the seating comfort was actually great. The legroom of the footboard is less compared to the Activa 125, but still for me, I didn't face any issues, and for your reference, my height is 176 centimeters. And by the way, even though the seat length is slightly less with the Activa 60, the pillion seating comfort is actually good. And here with the Activa 60, since we finally get a telescopic front suspension and a 3-step adjustable rear one, even while riding through rough conditions, I didn't feel discomfortable. And also for the underside, well the Activa 60 has 171mm clearance, while the Activa 125 has 169mm clearance, but with both the scooters, even through bad riding conditions, the underside was safe. Now here since it's scooters, there is storage space available, and firstly with the Activa 125, we get a footboard which has good spacing, and since there is 2 retractable hooks of moderately good quality, you can hang bags in that. And here only in the Activa 125 you get a front glove box which is a very handy feature. And about the underseat storage, it does look big, but unfortunately the helmet I use, which is a large size fully covered one, doesn't fit in. Now with the Activa 60 I was surprised because the underseat spacing, even though it doesn't look huge, it does fit in my large size fully covered helmet. And about the footboard storage, you actually get 2 hooks which are non-retractable but is pretty strong, and hence here also you can easily hang a grocery bag or things like that. And by the way, in both the scooters there isn't a USB charging socket available. So now what we are left with is just the mileage, and here for the Activa 125, the mileage we got during testing is approximately 55 km per liter, and with the Activa 60, the mileage we got is approximately 59 km per liter. So here the Activa 60 does have better mileage than the Activa 125. But here please do note that the mileage you'll be getting might be different because mileage totally depends on the way you ride and also based on riding conditions. Well, I guess that's everything for the comparison, and before the verdict, if you're in Kollam, Kerala and if you want to know the on-road pricing or do a test ride or even make a booking, you can contact the number shown here. When we started this comparison, I did say that if pricing matters, you already know the one to buy, and if you're keeping that pricing thing aside, I think the choice depends on your priorities. If your need is the best possible features, better safety at higher speed, a scooter that will suit taller riders, excellent engine refinement and quality for short as well as long rides, then the Activa 125 is probably the one that you might be looking at. And also with the Activa 125 with the deluxe and alloy variant, you actually have one more feature, which is the side stand engine cutoff, which is not present in both the versions of the Activa 60. Now if your need is a scooter which is basically going to be mainly used in city, and for that you need the best quality engine with good performance, excellent mileage, then you want it to last well in the long run, and it should cover basic convenience stuff, and even though already mentioned it should be affordable in the BS-6 lineup, then I guess you know the one you should be getting, just the Activa 60. Yeah, from this comparison what I feel is that both are excellent scooters, and no matter which one you buy, you will be happy with it. That's all for this video guys, hope you liked it. If so, please do hit the like button, and also please don't forget to subscribe and to turn the notifications on. See you again in the next video. Till then, bye.